Alright guys, welcome back to another roll breakdown between me and my buddy Graham. This time we're doing some gi, and haven't posted any of these in a while. I've just been busy working on my technique and schoolwork and everything, but we slap hands here. Now right here, learn from my mistakes during this roll because I did not do well. I should have kept both my hooks hooked underneath this leg, but instead I let this one stay down and was being kind of lazy with it. And you're supposed to keep sticky hooks at all times, which means anytime I hook, I stay connected to his leg, never disconnect. And Graham takes advantage of that with this back step. So now both of my hooks are useless, and this grip on the collar is useless as well. Now I wrapped around his leg because I wanted to go into some of my X guard stuff, but obviously was not able to do that after this back step here. So we settle on the half. This is James, he's crazy. And so yeah, you see how I wrapped up his leg right there because I wanted to go X guard, but now that he is in side control, this is actually a big problem for me. I can't use it to frame against his hip to keep him from circling north-south around my head, and it allows him to separate my hands so that he can really start isolating this arm right here, and you'll see him do that. So I try to get my arm out here. I do get it out, but I mean it's still pinned in a tough spot right here. And now watch, he swaps his feet over to keep that arm pinned. So now he's stepped and he's holding that arm down with that leg. So I still can't use that arm, and it's really isolating, and he's setting up to go around on this far arm. So he steps over my head and he's locking up this arm here. I start to fight to come up to my knees, and he loops into a triangle position right here. So now I'm really stuck here. But I'm trying to just lock my hands and keep him from locking up that triangle. But there's a lot of pressure right here. Now you can see he's wrenching into my elbow there to try to pry my arm out. And I'm not really sure how he gets the finish here, but I remember he finishes me. It might have been the triangle choke, or it might have been, okay, yeah, he gets the arm out. So now that triangle choke is tight, and I think he also, yeah, starts attacking that shoulder lock. And I'm really just stuck here. So force to tap. And now we're about to go again. So we slap hands. This time I sat and I tried to go for more of like a spider guard or a lasso because I had his sleeve. Because if we can back that up, he makes the initial grab this time. So he grabs my sleeve and posts, but because he posts, it gives me an opportunity to grab his wrist. So now he's got my wrist, I've got his wrist. Now I at least feel somewhat comfortable to sit down and maybe start trying to play some lasso. So I'm not very good at lasso and spider guard yet, as you can see. So I get spider guard on this arm, but he's already slid his knee past my hip. So he's already past my guard, essentially. But because I've got this wrist and my foot in this elbow, I can use it to really shift his weight over in this direction, which makes it hard for him to settle on top of me. So it's kind of keeping me alive right now. I almost get the sweep, but he backsteps out. So he decides to just completely back out of this exchange right here because I almost swept him, and I think he felt the leverage was getting a little off, so he did the smart thing and backed out. Now I've still got this wrist, and he goes for a flying triangle. I try to re-guard, and now anytime you roll with really scrambly guys, you just want to try to lock them in a position to work. I know I'm not going to go like, if we keep this distance here, Graham's faster and more athletic than me, he will win. But as he goes to backstep, I use this leg to catch his leg. So now we're in a half guard where I don't have a great chance, but I have a better chance than I did before. His arm is stuck between my leg, which is a really weird position, and he grabbed my lapel and was pulling on it, which really like opened up my hips. Nobody's ever done that before, to me anyways, and I haven't seen many people do that, but it made my lockdown a lot less tight. It really kind of opened my hips up, and he was able to slowly creep his leg out here. Notice he's keeping that other knee in my hip, so it's hard for me to turn and wrapping up my neck to threaten the choke there. So now once he settles in the side control, I'm really just being patient here. I'm trying not to waste energy and explode around on him. I know he has to make a move if he's going to submit me. So now he slides over in a mount. Now this position, I like to think I'm pretty decent at escaping from right here, because when he hasn't established getting this foot over on the other side yet, you can snatch it up and get yourself back into a half guard. And then normally if he oversteps to try to keep me from grabbing his leg, you can do exactly what I do here. But that's what I was thinking from this position. Graham is about to go for a mounted triangle the second he realizes. But the space that I needed to get my knee back through, I filled it up quick because I was already thinking about doing the same thing, just for a different reason. So I get my knee through there, and I grab his ankle here. Now this puts a lot of twerk on his knee to come back this way and takes a lot of weight off me. So you can see I almost come up initially from that, but now I've got this foot and my arm is wrapped around his knee, so I'm inserting back into X guard, which is the guard I originally wanted to play at the start of our roll. And so I sneak this foot in and go X guard here. He gets an underhook, which is really smart, but I come up on top off of the X guard sweep, and we end up in his half guard. But he's got that far knee shield. Now here I am trying to stick this arm through and keep him pinned and circle around, because his top leg, you can't see it, but it's trying to track me and hook my leg so that he, as I keep circling, he follows me, and it's a lot harder for me to pass. He also took my lapel and wrapped it around my shoulder to keep isolating that arm, and he's posting this knee out, so it also makes it hard for me to go this way. So he's got two things telling me not to go this way. So I flatten out because I felt his leverage right there. He kind of beat me leverage wise, so I flattened out to try to change it. Now he comes up into a butterfly and he's attacking that arm that I said he isolated earlier, with that lapel being brought over and his underhook. So I get it out. He's controlling the wrist. Now you see he grabbed my my sleeve and stuck his foot in. This is a lasso guard. It's kind of a lasso butterfly guard. It's a weird thing, but he does a lot of weird creative stuff. So I tried to get around it and I smashed over to the side. So now I've kind of passed his guard, but not really, because he's still got the lasso. And I get knee on belly. So what this does is, yes, he has the lasso, but it's going to make it a lot harder for him to re-guard off of the lasso because my knee is on his hips, so his legs cannot turn back into me. He can't square me off again with his hips. And so I'm here, knee on belly. I'm trying to just be stable. Now I'm really starting to try to go knee on belly and put a lot of pressure down to try to break this grip, because I know I can't really attack him properly unless I break this grip right here. So I've got a grip behind his collar, and I'm just digging my knee down to try to release some of the tension on this grip so I can pop it free. But then the bell rings and the round is over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little roll breakdown. I'll probably do one again soon. Peace.